Hello friends, this is Dr. Vijay Kumar. I am welcoming you all in my lecture on classification and tabulation of data. First, I just want to mention that this lecture is available in both English and Hindi language version. Go to the channel or description of video for getting link. As per your wish, if you want a Hindi translated video, then you can get those links on the channel or on the description section of this video. So now we will start our lecture on tabulation and classification of data. Generally, data are available in the raw unorganized form. In this form, we can't use data, so classification of data is the first step in this direction. It is the process of arranging data in a groups according to their resemblance. There are two basic types of classification. For example, qualitative and quantitative classification. In qualitative classification, basis of classification is quality, like sex, literacy, religion, region, etc. A qualitative classification may be simple or manifold. The classification done with respect to one attribute is termed as simple classification. Under simple classification, we are using only one quality. The classification in which two or more attributes are considered is called manifold classification. In manifold classification, we are considering 2, 3 or more quality at a time. In quantitative classification, the collected data are grouped in respect of characteristics which can be measured and numerically expressed, such as height of animal or individual, weight of animal or human being. So under quantitative classification, this type of classification are done for those traits or those observations which have some quantity, like height can be measured in feet, centimeter, weight can be measured in kg, pound, gram. So for such observation where you can quantify the traits, character or observation, there in that case you can use quantitative classification. On the basis of these two types of characteristics, the classification may be categorized as classification according to attributes, classification according to class interval. The first classification according to attributes, are for qualitative classification, and classification according to class interval are for quantitative classification. When the given data possesses the qualitative characteristic, then its classification is known as classification according to attribute. These things already I discussed. When the given data possesses the numerical characteristic to its classification is known as classification according to class interval. Just discussed these things. For this, we first find out the two extreme values from the given data. So this is this is for the classification according to class interval, and classification according to class interval is for numerical characteristics. So the trait or observation where numerical characteristics are coming, in that case, for that case, we first find out the two extreme values from the given data, and these extreme values are used for calculating range. The difference of these two highest and lowest observations is known as range. Highest minus lowest value is known as range. If the number of class divides this range, we get class interval. So for getting class interval, we divide range with the number of classes, and number of classes is based upon your own wish. You can take 5 classes, 10 classes, 15 classes, 20 classes. It's depend upon you. You can take. You divide range with the number of classes. You will get what you will get class interval. All these things will be more clear when I will discuss one example. I will solve one question. At that time, you will find all these things will be more clear. The number of classes depends upon the investigator choice. I already said this in the earlier slide. You can choose number of classes. Generally, number of classes is taken 10, and in no case it should exceed 20. Generally, we are taking number of classes 10, but it should be below 20. You can take 5, 10, 15, 20, but generally we do not increase number of classes beyond 20. On the basis of class interval, we make different classes so that all the given data may be included in these classes. Each class interval has two, that is lower and upper limit. So each class has two limit, one lower limit and upper limit. And for making class interval, there are two methods: inclusive method and exclusive method. So in any class interval, you will find one lower limit, one upper limit, and this is known as class interval. From lower to upper, this is class interval. And there are two methods for making class interval. One is inclusive method and another is exclusive method. Now, what is inclusive method and what is exclusive method, we will see. In inclusive method, upper limit of class is not taken equal to lower limit of the next lower class. Here, with the help of this example, you can visualize what is happening. I am again repeating. In inclusive method, upper limit of the class. See here the example. See the example: AB, CD, and EF. AB is class interval, CD is another class interval, EF is another class interval. Here upper limit of the class, for the first class interval, the upper limit is B, is not equal is not taken equal to lower limit of the next lower class. So you will see the lower limit of the next lower class is C and B is not equal to C. Okay, so this is about the inclusive method. In these classes, both lower and upper limits are included in same class. Up again, this need clarification. In these classes, both lower and upper limit, the value of lower limit and the value of upper limit are included in the same class. That means for the first class AB, A will be included in the first class interval. The value B will be also included in the first class interval up from A to B. All value will be included in the first class. So this is about inclusive method. The second method is exclusive method. In this method, the upper limit of class is taken equal to lower limit of the next higher class. Here it's clear from the example. One first class is AB, second class is BC, third class is CD. Here you can see the upper limit of the first class, which is B, is equal to lower limit of the next class, which is again B. So AB, again BC, then CD. So next class lower limit is equal to earlier class higher limit. In this type, the value equal to upper limit of a class are not included in the same class, but they are included in the next higher class where it has taken as lower limit. So the value B, in this example, three classes are there, A, B, B, C, C, D. The value B will be included in the second class, not in the first class. Similarly, value C will be included in the third class, not in the second class. This is one of the way method of calculating number of classes. You can calculate number of classes by this method. This is a Sturge rule. You can apply or you can take by your own choice. You can take number of classes 5, 10, 15, 20 up to 20. You can choose, but you can also calculate number of classes by this rule, by Sturge rule. And it's the Sturge rule is C equal to, C is the number of classes, equal to 1 plus 3.322 log n, where n is total number of observation. So for example, if total number of observation is 50, then in that case number of classes will be 6.64, that is it's around 7 classes. You will, in that case, you can take 7 classes. So by using this rule you can choose 7 classes, but it's not always the case. You can choose by your own. You can take 5 class, 10 class. Division of given data considering the magnitude are put against different class in the form of tally marks. So in the table, the different frequencies, for calculating frequencies, we are using tally marks. The 4 tally marks are put parallel to each other and fifth one cross the 4. Okay, if you will get one observation in your class, you will make one line, standing line again. When you will get the second observation, you will give second line, standing line. In this way you will go up to 4, and When you will again, if you will get one observation in that class, then you will make a cross, and when you will make a cross, that will be equal to 5 observation. And this technique helps in counting. This is done to facilitate the counting. The total number of tally marks the total number of tally marks against a class is known as frequency of that class, and this is known as frequency distribution. When you will make frequencies for all the classes, then the whole table is known as frequency distribution. The tabular form of the frequency distribution is also called as frequency table. You can also call this as frequency table. These are two types of frequency table. The first one is simple frequency table, and the second one is cumulative frequency table. Now we will see one by one what is simple frequency table and what is cumulative frequency table. In simple frequency table, the first column of the table contains value of class interval, and the second column contains their simple frequency. So in simple frequency table, first you will write the class interval. It may be 0 to 5, the first class interval, second class interval in the same column, 5 to 10, 10 to 15. This way you can make the column, and adjacent to that column you will make one frequency, simple frequency column. Okay, all these things will be more clear when I will explain the example. When frequencies are sum up, then they are known as cumulative frequency. In case of cumulative frequency, we sum up the frequencies. There are two types of cumulative frequencies. One is less than cumulative frequency, and second is more than cumulative frequency. Now we will see what is less than cumulative frequency and what is more than cumulative frequencies. First, see less than cumulative frequency. By adding the frequencies of all observations less than the upper class boundary of a given class, we get less than cumulative frequency. In the example, it will be more clear. Similarly, on adding the frequencies of all the observations more than lower class boundary, we can get more than cumulative frequencies. So this is one example. Here, by solving this example, we can learn how to make more than cumulative frequency, how to make less than cumulative frequency, what is simple frequency. All these things will be clear after seeing this example. So the data here, this is example of one data from 60 Haryana cow, their weekly milk yield. This all observations are weekly milk yield in liter from Haryana cow, 60 Haryana cows. So here we will have to make one frequency distribution table, and frequency table, here we will make one frequency table, and also we will try to give the number of cows giving milk less than 20 liters and number of cows giving milk more than 30 liters. After seeing that frequency distribution table, you can give the number of observations of cows giving milk yield less than 20 liters. By seeing this table, it's very difficult. By seeing this data, it's very difficult to give the number of cows giving milk less than 20 liters and number of cows giving milk more than 30 liters. But when you will make a frequency distribution table, in seconds you can answer these questions. So, step by step, we will learn how to solve this question. The first step is determine the largest and smallest value in the given data and calculate the range. For calculate for calculating range, we will have to determine largest and smallest value. So largest value is 49 and smallest value is 1. So the range is 49 minus 1, 48. Now the second step, we will calculate class interval. So for calculating class interval, we will divide range by number of classes. Suppose we want to take number of classes as 10, so class interval will be 48 divided by 10. It's around 4.8. So for simplicity, we can take 5 as class interval. So this value 5 is our class interval, and we are taking 10 classes each of 5 interval. So now in third step, since the smallest value is 1, we start with the lower limit. 0 instead of 1 is the first class, so we will take 0 to 5, and in this way the remaining classes can be obtained by adding the class width or class interval to each class limit of the previous class until we get the highest class 45 to 50, which includes the highest value 49. So we will have to include the lowest value in the first class and the highest value in the last class. Now how to calculate, how to make table with less than cumulative frequency and more than cumulative frequency. For making the column for less than cumulative frequency, we will take these suggestions or we will take this guideline. Less than cumulative frequencies are obtained by adding successively starting from top to bottom, simple frequency. Again I am repeating, for making less than cumulative frequency, we can obtain less than cumulative frequency by adding successively starting from top to bottom, simple frequency. In the next few slides, we will see how to calculate add all those frequency. For more than cumulative frequency, we can obtain more than frequency table by adding successively starting from bottom to top, simple frequency. Here it's reverse. Here we are adding starting from bottom to top. So this is the our final table. So we have 10 classes and the class interval is of 5. So different classes are 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 35, 35 to 40, 40 to 45 and 45 to 50. So this is exclusive method. In this method, the highest limit of one class is equal to lowest limit of the next class. So if you will get observation 5, then it will be included in the second class. So using tally mark, we will count the frequencies. We have used the tally mark, and after adding all those tally marks, simple frequency is coming. Simple frequency for the different classes are 6, 6, 6, 5, 6, like this. And now for making less than frequency table, less than cumulative frequency, successively we have added from top to bottom. 6, the first is 6, now 6 plus 6 12, now 12 plus 6 18, now 18 plus 5 23. In this way we have added, and at last we are getting 60. So this is the way for making calculation for less than cumulative frequency. In case of more than cumulative frequency, we have added in the reverse way, from bottom to top. At the bottom the frequency is 9, so first we have written 9. 9 plus 6 15, 15 plus 5 20. So in this way we have added all those frequencies. So this is the way. Now I think it's clear to visualize how to write simple frequency, how to write less than cumulative frequency, how to write more than cumulative frequency. So this is the complete frequency distribution table. Now the two questions, less than 20 liter, number of cows producing less than 20 liter in a week, and number of cows producing more than 30 liters in a week. For seeing that, we can simply see less than 20 liter, number of cows producing less than 20 liter, and this must be come in 15 to 20 class, weekly milk yield class 15 to 20, and we will go less than cumulative frequency, it's coming 23. So total number of cow producing less than 20 liter is 23. The answer is, first answer is 23. Now number of cows producing more than 30 liter, so for that we will have to come to the class 30 to 35. This is more than 30, it means 30 to 35, and we will go to the column more than cumulative frequency, and the number of cows are 26. So the second answer is 26. So in this way we can make any frequency table. It's very easy, and with the help of this example, I hope any student can make the frequency distribution table. So this is all about today lecture. Again, I want to remind you students that complete population genetics lecture are available on my channel. You can access the link on my channel, or you can simply go to the description of this video. In the description you will find all the videos in both Hindi and English language. I also request you all to write comment for the topics, write comment for any clarification, and also request you, please see comment section. There you will find, if there is any clarification, I will write clarification in the comment section. So thanks very much for seeing.